The mortgage rates are again at historic lows, and there's a chatter on the street that you should be refinancing. But should you, and will it be worth it? Let's talk about it. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to Think Finance. My name is Raj, and on this channel I talk about personal finance, investment ideas, money management tips, and all things finance. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. In this video, I want to share everything you need to know about refinancing, or refi as some may say. What it is, does it make sense to refi, and stuff you should know when you talk to a lender. Also, in the end, I'm going to give you a super simple way to analyze the numbers and make a quick decision on refinancing. So stick around for that. Whether or not a refi makes sense for you depends on your unique scenario, but I'm hoping after watching this video, you will have everything you need to have a smart conversation with the lenders. Let's start with a basic question. What is refinancing? If you ever bought a house, you probably have a mortgage, assuming you didn't pay cash. Refi is basically the process of paying off your old mortgage and drawing a new one. Why would you do that, you ask? Well, there are a number of reasons. Let's talk through some of the big ones. Number one, reduce monthly payments. Let's say the mortgage rates have fallen dramatically. Right now, a 30-year fixed mortgage is somewhere around 3.5%. If rate on your existing mortgage is more than 4%, then it might make sense to refi. A general rule of thumb is if the difference between old and new rate is at least 0.5% or more, then refi will make sense. By refinancing to a lower interest rate, you will end up saving on your monthly payments. Point number two, get some cash on your equity. What does that mean? Let's assume you have equity in your house. Basically, the value of your house is more than what you owe. Well, that is cool because now you can do something fun. There is something called as cash out refinance. You refinance to borrow more than you owe on your current loan. The lender actually gives you a check for the difference. And then you can use that cheap money to make improvements or do whatever. Number three, change mortgage terms. Let's say you have a 30-year fixed and rates suddenly drop like crazy. You may decide to refinance at a lower rate, but this time do a 15-year mortgage. This way you can pay off your house in 15 years as opposed to 30. Other example here is maybe your current loan is adjustable arm and you want to switch to a fixed rate arm. Yeah, fixed rate loan. Number four, get rid of any PMI. If you're paying any private mortgage insurance, PMI, and now you have enough equity in the house, you could potentially refi and get rid of that PMI. Before you jump and refinance, there are a few things you should consider. It pushes your home ownership out. Refinancing means you may end up taking longer to pay off your house. Think about it. If you're refinancing from a 30-year to another 30-year loan, the clock restarts. Now, let's assume you are already 10 years into your old mortgage. You just pushed your home ownership out by 10 years. You may be paying more interest. At times, refinancing may reduce your monthly payments, but in the long term, you may end up paying more interest. For some, it may be okay because it reduces the monthly payment. We will talk more about this using an example a little bit later in the video. Next, comes with a closing cost. There will be a cost involved to refi. It's important to understand the closing costs and add that to your analysis. This cost may range anywhere from 2 to 5% of the loan amount. And finally, you may have to pay prepayment penalty. Your old mortgage may have a prepayment penalty clause. Refinancing means paying off your old mortgage first, and if you have a prepayment penalty clause on it, means more cost to you. So the question is, how do you really know if it is worth it and how to get started? Let me try and give you some simple steps. Step number 1, know your credit score. Make sure you don't have any surprises on your credit score, and it is where it should be. Step number 2, get your latest statement. You can get this from your bank's website. For example, my loan is with Chase and I can get my statement from the website. Step number 3, talk to a lender. I have a lender I usually work with, but it is usually a good idea to work with at least 3 lenders and compare their offerings. They will usually give you an estimate, something like this. The key on this page is the closing cost, the rate, the principal, and the interest amount. Step number 4, do a quick sanity check. Use an online calculator to do a quick sanity check. These calculators ask some basic questions about your old and new mortgage and tell you if it makes sense to refi. Nerd Wallet has a good one. I'll drop a link in the description. Step number 5, if the numbers make sense, go ahead, knock yourself out and refi. Let me make it even more easier for you to figure out if it makes sense to refi. Let's assume some numbers for your existing loan. Remaining loan balance, $505K, interest rate, 3.87%, and remaining payments, 318 months. In this case, your payments will be $2,542.92, and total interest through the life of the loan will be at $303K. Here are the numbers for refi estimate. Loan balance, $505K, interest rate, 3.4%, and payments will be $360 since this is a 30-year loan. In this case, your payments will be a little over $2,250, and total interest through the life of the loan will be at $306K. So based on these numbers, you would save $290 on your monthly payments, but you will pay more in interest over the life of the loan. Some might think this is not worth it since you will end up paying more interest. This is where you will make a huge mistake. Let me explain and show how powerful $290 can be. If you invested this money every month for the next 30 years, with the magic of compounding, your money can grow to $355K by the end of 30 years. Assuming a 7% return, which is typically expected from the stock market, and you reinvested the dividend. Your $290 saving can go a long way. Point being, any saving, if invested, can go a long way. So don't discount the opportunity to refi even if it saves you $100. By the way, $100 can grow to $122K at the end of 30 years. Magic of compounding, it's king. That's all I have, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If this was helpful, hit that like button. And if money is your thing, consider subscribing. Until next time, peace.